She was awake all night with this thought.
Like, just nonstop. So many thoughts. But it's a lot of pressure because a lot of things in life are subject to change. Obviously, divorce is a thing, okay? Like, that's obviously an option. But the person you choose will change your life.
Yeah.
That's the most important decision you will ever make. And the other day, someone snapped at me, I hate indecisiveness. And I'm like, okay, I'm a really indecisive person. And I hate that. And I think it was a little triggering for me too, because I'm like, I didn't choose to be this way. And I work on it. And I try very hard to like make a decision. And so when I make a decision, that's the other thing. Was it you or Mandy who said, Mandy told me this morning, like the thing about me is when I make a decision, I will die on that hill. When I choose something or someone, no one or nothing is telling me otherwise. Like,
I'm the same.
Yeah.
It's to a fault. That's self-will.
For sure. Because we were in,
Taco.
we were in, and he'll never watch this, so I can tell the story. We were in London and seeing this guy that I was talking to at the time, and she just like said she did not like him for me, which was wise, but I didn't want to see it because I had already made up my mind. And so she said some like snarky comment, and I was like, that's rude. Like, I will literally, like, any of my friends come for my man. I'm that type of bitch. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's fine. If you have a respectful guy that you chose well, that's going to respect your friends, that would never be an issue. But anyways, that's why there's so much stress. There is, like, the person, and I keep seeing posts about it and this and that. Like, and my dad always told me, like, you can fix everyone, Chelsea, but you can't fix your life partner. That is the one person you cannot help. They need to help themselves. You cannot get your happiness from them. They cannot get their happiness from you. Like, it is such a big decision, and I don't know why it's been, like, weighing on my heart more lately. I don't think it's this, like, oh, I'm 33 and I feel like I should get married soon. I don't think it's that. I think it's that I'm being just so real with myself as we're going through this work, that I'm realizing like the severity of the people that I allow into my life as I'm teaching other people the same work. Like, I am so particular with this circle of people, and a switch went off in my brain today like it never has before when I was thinking about why I have the 3 to 5 literally women in my small circle, one of them being right here, one of them being in LA, one of them being in Connecticut, and a few more. And then I just realized, like, why would I even consider, even entertain a man who isn't on their level?
And I think, like, when you said that, that really stuck with me as well. It's because we pick, like, I've also noticed in my circle, like, I have a very small handful of close friends. Yeah. It's a handful. It's literally a handful. And each one of them, most of them are women. One of them is a guy. And each of them just has the most remarkable qualities. The most remarkable qualities. They're people who, like, I aspire to. They motivate me. Yeah. They challenge me. You know, morally, they really are. They're
unwavering.
Committed. Yeah, morally unwavering. Everybody's made mistakes, but they're committed to deepening their knowledge of the world, to deepening to self-improvement and stuff. And why do we? I feel like that's on my list of things that I look for in a partner.
For sure on my list. But all of them.
So why do we pick bad boys?
all of them take a back seat when feelings get involved, because that's why we're so able. It's so much easier. It's still not easy by any means. It took me years to start choosing my female friends wisely. Also,
same.
But now that I do that, the reason that it's easier to be like, you're not good, bye, with, I just totally spit, with women is because we're not romantically attracted or involved, so it doesn't hurt.
Can I have some advice?
Oh yeah,
sorry.
I'm like, you want my phone, the Jesus calling, you feeling led, anyway. But yeah, we're not, yeah, we're not romantically involved. So it's easier to be like, they did A, B, and C, which was totally not lined up with my moral values. So like, I'm gonna like have to move on now. I have 7 other girlfriends. And as much as the polyamorous community would love for that to work, I don't think that it works romantically. Romantically, when you see something that doesn't align with your values or isn't on your list, or is something that is on your list that shouldn't be, anyway, you know what I mean? If they do something that is out of line, you are losing the only one in your circle. You don't have 5 more, ideally. Like, and that's why when we're dating, I do think it's healthy to have, be talking to multiple people, because otherwise if you are overly loyal too soon to one person, and I have a habit of doing this, which we were talking about yesterday, because I'm still trying to prove myself to someone that never believed me, even though I was always telling the truth, but he never believed me. So it's like I carry that into every relationship, trying to prove that I'm loyal again and again, because a crazy person wouldn't believe that I was when I was, instead of just understanding and knowing my security and my worth, and that God knows I'm loyal, and that's all that matters. So I become loyal too soon, and I will shut off every other option, which makes it that much more difficult to walk away from a situation when it's not up to par, because I've cut everyone else off. I don't have backups.
But you also have to just preface that by saying that because you're still choosing, you're possibly choosing people that you think you can fix.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not the healthy choice. Like, they're not yet the healthy choice. Like, if you were choosing someone who's committed to doing the work on themselves, like we were having this discussion about, and please, like, weigh in here. Please comment, ask us your questions. My biggest thing is being in recovery. I was like, is it better for me to date someone who's also in recovery? Like, or someone who's not? Because my non-negotiables is like, I don't want to be with someone who wants to do drugs. I don't want to be with someone who wants to drink. I just don't. I don't see a point in alcohol. I know like my journey with it and why I don't want to drink, but also it's a waste of time. I'm trying to raise my frequency here, and alcohol is known to keep you on a lower frequency. So I don't want to be around it right now. I probably can't be around it.
And I keep trying to tell her that there are people that don't drink. There are lots of them. I grew up around a community of people that I know still doesn't drink. They've never drank. There's huge people groups all over America. Maybe, I don't know about the rest of the world, but definitely in America, that don't drink, that never drank, that won't drink, that just don't. Drinking is not their thing. But it's hard to believe when I think you grew up in a community that is so far from, like, drinking is just very normal. Like in Europe and stuff too, like drinking is more normal. Like there are, though, tons of people that don't drink, that never drank, that just...
Do you think, so but this is the thing, is it's like, on the one hand, we were having this debate about why do you want to have to be worried the whole time? And I think I spoke to my mom about this as well, or someone, or my aunt, about why do you want to worry about someone else's recovery? Like, you got your own to manage. And for me, I feel like when I made a decision, when I got baptized, to follow Jesus, like have God in my life, he took that addiction from me. I can't explain it, and I was speaking to my sponsor about it yesterday. There's no logical explanation, and she was like, that's God working in your life, because I can't explain it. Like, I'm still going to be careful. I still do what I need to do. But so the debate is, do you like not, because I met someone who's also in recovery who I get along with really, really well, but then there's the thing of like, is it not a good option because I don't know what he's capable of? Like, I don't want to manage someone else's recovery.
So here's my thought, is for like, how do I explain this? So you've already met this person. So that's like already part of the thing. But going forward,
what's the thing?
the fact that he is also in recovery it's already there. You can't undo it. But if you could just be like, I'm just going to take this element away, would you? If you could just choose that he all of a sudden would like not be in recovery and just was the type of guy that just doesn't drink, but it was still him, Would you choose that?
I think that's such a hard question though, because I think everything he's been through has made him who he is, which is the
That's
person
true.
that
I see what you're saying.
am
Okay, I see
not
where you're
gonna
coming
say
at.
the words, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I got you. I see what you're saying. Okay, so
My thing is, if you can be dedicated just like I am, my biggest thing is this, like I feel like you've got to choose someone who wants to kingdom build with you. Like we are building our business, and this is what you were saying is our common thing is that business. So if you can find a partner who wants to build something with you, like build your relationship, but also to go places.
A better question for you. So do you think that I am lacking as a person because I didn't ever go through that?
No.
And that I can't reach you and be as deep as you be where, okay.
Because you've gone through your own stuff.
Okay, so then you just answered your question.
No, I didn't though.
Yes, you did, because that means if I exist, there are other men out there who can still reach your level of intimacy and drive and have been through stuff without being in recovery.
Of course, no, but I'm saying specifically for the person in question that we're speaking about.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would be the man who I...
Without that. Right. And very well, maybe not. But I'm saying going forward, should this not work out, I think a wise choice for yourself would be to choose to make your life easier by just being like, I'm not even, for me, for example, I've chosen, I'm not going to date guys that aren't Christian. I had one that was wonderful, and I loved him, and he was respectful, and he was a lot of things most Christian men aren't. And I would never change that. And I could never force him to change him, and I would have married him had the cards, fallen into place where they were. But now that I'm away from that and found that that was not what was for me, I would never wish that upon myself again. Now that I know, what it was like to have that extra level of pain and struggle, I'd rather live without it. So going forward, I'm like, I will not let myself fall again for someone who's not in line with me spiritually. I won't even entertain it because I just don't want to go down that path. So that's why for me, I'm like, I think it would be a great idea for you to have that, just as I have that I won't date a non-Christian. And ideally, you will date someone that isn't in recovery, that just doesn't drink. Because there's so many people out there that just don't drink, but they're not in recovery, because it's just like choosing someone. We all come with dirt, and I think that that's what you and I both agree on.
Absolutely.
Is that we kind of want someone that comes with dirt and a past and character, and that they've fought to be where they are, because it shows character. And the reality is nobody doesn't have something. We all do. All the people that I always thought were like, oh, it must be nice living in that nice little glass house. Your life must be perfect. You get to know them. They have tons of shit going on. You had no idea that they've worked through, that they've fought through. So that being said, though, I feel like going into dating or considering someone, that is the time. That first 10 seconds before the first date is the time to ask, do you A, B, C, and D? Because ideally, if I can, I'd like to make my life a little easier, because it's going to be hard enough as it is.
Well, I completely agree with that, but that's also the conversation that we were having is you need to ask the question. So I'm so direct in the sense of I look at now, it's not just about me and my romance. Are you going to be a good father to my children? Are you going to model the kind of man that I want them to be with? That's it. That is my first, most important thing, is if you're going to model that, if you're going to have good boundaries, kind, loyal, all of that stuff. That's number one. But then number two is, I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do. I can see, we know what our future is going to look like. And I want someone who's
in line
with those values. If we are living 100%. In two different parts of the world, because that's our goal. Watch the space. But stuff like that, who's dedicated to self-improvement.
It's so important.
With this company that we're building, we want people who not necessarily want to get involved with us, but
aligned with the mission.
Exactly. And God is a huge part of our company.
Yeah.
So it needs to be a huge part of our relationships.
100%. The biggest thing, for me, so multiple things. Oh, I agree with all that. I feel like I also came to this revelation last night as I was like laying in my bed. I started cleaning out my phone. Never a bad idea. You can always have a cleanier, squeakier phone. Like another trauma response that I feel the need to do that because it was forced upon me, but it's a good
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
But now we do it for the right reasons, and it's really interesting too, as we went through things for the wrong reasons, we're able to like learn some things that people want, and it was expressed to us in the wrong way, but now give those things to people who would never ask for them, which is nice. That being said, like I try to be as respectful as possible, keep my phone clean, not have like people that I'm like I used to have. I was young and dumb. I had, all these guy friends. I'm like, oh, he's
Same.
harmless, he's not harmless. He wants to sleep with you.
Gosh.
But we didn't know better, and now we do. Anyways, as I was going through this phone of mine, I'm looking through the last year, and granted, like, it's gotten a lot less and a lot less, but like there is still that element of self-work that needs to be done. Like, I still have part of me that thinks I'm very unattractive, that thinks I'm ugly, that thinks I'm not one of the pretty girls. And it's like a constant battle. And it's like, what's interesting too is like, no matter how much my ego gets fed, it's that one, and it's like Instagram comment. You can get a million positive comments, but it's that one negative comment, and it throws you off, And it's like that with me, with men, is I can have a million good guys or hot guys or whatever that want me, but it's that one rejects me, and I'm like, I'm worthless. Like, my brain just tells me you're ugly, you're not
typically the one that you want that rejects you, and then it's just
But think about it too. Like, maybe that's why you want them.
Definitely. That is a psychological thing. But I also would just like to think that, I don't know, personally, I just feel like where I'm at now is I don't want that drama. I don't want those games. No. I'm just not down for that stuff. Like, I'm down for self-improvement, okay? Yes. That's it. So if you want to self-improve with me, you know where to find me.
But here's the thing that we both struggle with is we say that. We say that. But are we actually acting that out? Are we actually attracted? And this is what I was struggling with, and what I've been struggling with, is like, how do I get myself to actually be attracted to things that are good for me?
But do you think what I'm attracted to currently is not good for me?
Yes.
Why?
Because of, sorry if you're watching this, age, because they are not emotionally available, because they are quite literally not available. It's not because anything they're actually doing that's wrong. And that's you've replaced something.
See, because that's the thing. What he's doing is not wrong. What he's doing is actually like having a boundary and improving himself.
Yes. But the fact that like you've yet again become attracted to someone with something that makes them unavailable.
Okay.
Shows that because once we've done it, theoretically, right? Once we've healed or taught ourselves, or once we really believe in ourselves and love ourselves and respect ourselves and want what's best for ourselves, theoretically, we should be able to be attracted and want someone who is ready, who is showing up, who can be with us right now. But there is some level of fear that is keeping us from being attracted to anyone who's actually here, ready to show up now. And what you keep saying is that it's that we are afraid of rejection, and afraid that if we actually are with someone that's willing to show up, then we have to show up, and that's fucking scary.
It is terrifying. It is terrifying. But then on the flip side of that, the way I'm trying to see this now is all I've been speaking about is like I have such different sort of relationship boundaries and ideals, and I don't want to rush something, and I want to go slow, and I keep saying to myself, if it's meant to be, what is the time? And that's the thing. And it's like, I think you're so scared, and this is where we get impulsive, and I think you and I do this, is it's like when you like someone, it's almost like you're like, okay, I licked it, so it's mine. I want that one.
That's so real. That's so real.
And
yes.
it's a primal
Yeah.
thing. It's like when you
It
see
is.
your mate, you're just like, I will kill anybody else who goes near that person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we're not lions.
Yeah.
We need to just...
And it is so hard to be patient. And it's a control thing for us,
Penguins
for sure,
is a better
too.
analogy. I think
Yeah.
lions have lots of fluff.
We are definitely penguins, for sure. Yeah, do they really? It's like,
Yeah, they have a pride. The lionesses, there's one lion and then there's a group of a pride of...
Or what's that bird I just posted about the other day? The swan. They immediately kill themselves when one of them dies. Like, I'm like, that's me.
Oh, God.
I'm just like blinders on. But here's the thing. Here's my big flaw, okay? And we were talking about this yesterday. So I will then be like, okay, because I get so loyal and go so all in, when it isn't reciprocated, then I try my best to move on and go date someone else, kiss someone else, sleep with someone else, talk to someone else, whatever someone else, to try to convince myself that I am gonna get over this and I'm gonna move on. And that's actually
that you are worthy.
that
my
too.
gosh, it comes back to worth
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
and
it
listen,
does.
we
It
do
does.
this work. We help people with this
Yes.
work, but we too still have our struggles, guys.
It's
The
a
work is
lifelong
never
practice.
done.
Yeah, that.
The work is never done.
Never done. It is a constant, because you're going to carry this into your marriage too,
Yeah.
right? Like if you think about it, if your spouse, and this is why cheating happens, your spouse isn't giving you what you want. If you don't know how to look inside and be like, I am worthy, what are you going to do? You're going to look to other people for it.
Yeah.
Whether it be like, oh, like you're at school and that other dad is like saying you look pretty or something. You know what I mean? Like if you're not ready, you got to be ready to go to war when you walk into marriage. You know what I mean? Like you got to
That's
be...
that quote, find a partner that you can go to war with.
Yes. Yeah.
But also it's this, I think we get into the habit of really beating ourselves up by thinking I'm not where I should be. Like, and we are two people who are literally coaches who help other people. And we could easily think that, like, we're not where we should be. But here's the thing. You have to love your ego through that change, through that process of healing, because the healing work is never done. The work is never done. And you also have to be humble enough to go, like, there's still things I don't know. I am still learning. I mean, I literally on my Instagram page, it says still learning or always learning.
I love that.
Because that's the thing. The work is never done. Also, like, good luck trying to get past this one. If you want to date me, because she is
Very
in
protective.
charge. She
Very
is in
loyal.
charge.
That's why I love dogs. They are
Same.
so loyal. So loyal. So unwavering. Like, just...
So be gentle with yourself is basically what I was saying, and just see every opportunity of like where you see a flaw or you see, you know, a little crack in that armor, just dig a little bit deeper and go in there, because you know it's such a beautiful, it's like we're unwinding all the social conditioning, we're unwinding the chains that have like kept us hidden like a mask. Actually that is what it's like, and it's heavy. Chains are heavy. Have you ever carried them? They are heavy, okay? And we walk around wrapped in these self-imposed chains, which are all our character defects and our wounds and our traumas, and I'm not good enough and I'm not pretty enough and all of these things. Let them fall to the floor in this beautiful process of unwinding, which often looks like new wounds being shown to you, new areas that you can look at, and it's okay.
And get yourself a man who looks at you like
This
Lucy
dog.
looks at it. And here's the thing. The real secret, right, is not finding someone who has done all the work and has figured all this out and isn't wavering and wouldn't crack under pressure and doesn't, you know, it's not finding someone that is perfect and that has done all of this. It's finding someone that when this stuff comes up, you can work through it with them.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able
Someone
to
who's
go...
going to stay.
Yeah, I want to be able to go to my partner and be like, and I've heard that this happens. Actually, I think my pastor or someone that's like a big, like very successful marriage. When they are having any issue come up, they just tell their partner.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so-and-so at work, I'm finding attractive. And then they go and tell Like, how beautiful is that you can be like, okay, well, why? So if my husband was like, oh, I'm finding this girl at work attractive, then I'd be like, okay, what can I do? How can we work through this together?
Yeah.
I'd rather you tell me than hide that and then come home and he's feeling all these type of ways, or like sleeping with me while thinking about, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's talk about it. Let's work through it together. And I think that is the key to like a healthy relationship, is just that willingness and readiness to communicate. Because the only healthy relationship I had, that's what it was. We would sit down and talk about everything and anything, and neither of us got mad. Yeah, we got hurt. Yeah, we freaking hurt. Stuff happened that was painful, but we did not like get mad at each other. We talked through it, and every single time we got closer. We bonded more. We grew more. We loved deeper. And that's the takeaway.
But if you are in recovery, this has just brought up something so beautiful. This is, in essence, what a sponsor is. A sponsor is someone who you can learn to be so honest with, so that you can model all your other relationships around that. We are scared to be honest. Why do we lie? Because deep down we feel that the truth that we have, if we've done something wrong, I've made a lot of mistakes, okay? And, or just who we are, we feel like, if we are honest about who we are going to get rejected. And if you spin that fear out, rejection leads to isolation, leads to abandonment, leads to being alone, leads to being cast out, so I may as well be dead. Like, that's essentially, if you spin a fear out, all the way out, that's where you're going to come to, is the death. And it's obviously it's unrealistic. Well, I mean, it's not, but it is, but it's not. So, fears are real. Being honest with someone is real, but what I always say is, if you lose people by being honest, they are not your people. And don't take it personally. Take it as God's redirection.
Yeah.
Because the right people will stay and accept you and help you.
Yeah.
Just as you are someone's right person.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to drop the mic there, right?
Mic
Boom.
drop. I just had this little fear that the whole thing recorded on slow-mo, but we're going to find out. Thank you guys.
That'll be fun.
Subscribe, follow, like, leave any questions and comments.
Leave some questions.
Go off.
Or on our Instagram. We like to answer them.
Yeah, send DMs if you have more questions that you want us to respond to in the next podcast, YouTube, whatever this is. We love you. Happy Sunday.
Love you. Bye.
Ciao.